Welcome to another episode of Ain't That Some Shh. Why do I always do this?
We gotta use that. We gotta use the hands. We're like, let's throw them fists up.
So if you guys have noticed in the last episodes, I talk a lot with my hands. So I'm sorry if this becomes annoying. You know, just you'll get used to it.
It's like sign language.
I need to learn sign language.
Maybe you should. That way you're like, you know?
Welcome, guys, to another episode. Today's episode is talking a little bit more about what we do in our normal, living, not podcast, not eyebrows and merch and all that stuff, but what we do, what we really do. The
story behind of who we are.
There you go. She said it.
I take the credit. Just kidding. Yeah, so this episode, like Betsy was saying, we are going to be talking about how we got to where we're at now.
Yes.
And, our
businesses.
More, not so much of our businesses, but who we are as a person.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was a curveball. Okay. I guess I didn't pay attention to that.
You're like, what? It's just because a lot of times, people wonder, like, how did you get to be this? How did you get to this point in your life? Like, what happened between, we want to know what happened in your life and situations and moments that led you to where we're at now.
Let me tell you this. A lot of burgers.
A lot of stress.
Nachos.
I want food and I can't gain weight.
I want food and I gain weight.
Sad story for both of us.
I know, right?
We just never. She's not sponsored by Celsius, guys.
Sponsored by
Celsius. You're gonna drop it. I'm like, don't let it go. You're gonna drop it. So, let's dive right in. Betsy, do you want to start off first? Tell us, do you want to go first or you don't want to? Like, tell us the story behind Betsy, your realtor. Your San Diego realtor.
Are we starting from like childhood or what are we doing?
No, I mean, what led you to be where you're at?
So
I feel like we're interviewing each other.
I feel like I'm getting interviewed. Okay. I've been ready for this my whole life.
You know what? Like, we want to know how you became this person, taking charge of your life. Like, what made you, pursue your real estate career, your, everything that you're doing now.
Yes.
What led you to that?
So, as you can see here, Betsy was actually born in Hollywood.
Really?
I was born in Presbyterian
I didn't even know that.
Hollywood Hospital.
Wow.
Yes, so I'm originally from, but
star naturally.
Star. Just wait for me.
I'm in the making.
It's on the vision board.
Yeah, vision board. But star.
I was originally born in LA. I am luckily, I've had a lot of great influences in my family. My mom was a very hard worker. My dad's a hard worker. My aunts have that entrepreneurship in them. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in that environment.
Around all that.
At age 13, 14, I was selling makeup for my aunt.
Wow.
She used to do those businesses that are like yes.
Yeah.
But she was doing all those like the pyramid, kind of like
pyramid schemes. And
I
don't know if they're pyramid schemes, but
that's what they call it,
right?
Yeah. But so she was involved in that, her and my grandma. So and I always liked to be around them when I was younger. My mom was always working, but I love it intrigued me how she would create these conferences and teach all these people what to buy, how to make it a business. And she was always dragging me along to that, along with her. Mm-hmm. So I would see that. So the entrepreneurship definitely was planted at a very young age. Then you have my dad always telling me, do it. What do you want to do? If that's what you want to do it. So he was always
pushing you, encouraging you.
He was always my number one motivator.
Yeah.
Growing up, I wanted to be an actress, and he would always tell me, go, 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 go. Find out where it's going to be. We'll go do auditions, whatever. But I never pursued it because then I had the mom, the one that was like, no, I don't like that. And she would put like the fear in me, like you could do more, but like she's like old fashioned, like the school type. So, you know, she wanted me to go to school, become
like
a doctor, a nurse,
cop,
something with a degree.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like, just do it. Just go. You're never going to know if you don't do it. So I had like a bunch of, you know, the
views and opinions.
Yeah, I had to go to school, create a career. My dad, do whatever you want and do it good. Give it
whatever
your all.
It is, do it.
And then my aunt was like, no, like do your own business. So it was just like,
yeah.
So, but I had that at a very young age, which I am so grateful because I think that shaped me to the woman that I am now.
Very independent woman.
Very independent women. My mom made me very independent. My dad, very independent. They're always, you know, as long as you're safe and you're doing what you love and you're happy and you're making money, go for it. My mom was always telling me,
no one,
exactly.
Hazlo.
And she still tells me, I pray for you every day to be safe, you know. And I was like, oh, I love you, mommy. And my dad's like, do it. Like, you know, my relationship.
He's more like a risk taker.
My dad's like the hazlo. You're never gonna know, you know. And my aunt is just my aunt's like my big sister. You know, she's the one always telling me like, how are you gonna do it? Like, do it. What are you gonna do?
That. So you get a little aspect of every single person in your life.
Yes.
Which is beautiful because you can get to pick and choose what you get from every single person.
Exactly.
You know? And it's perfect because you get that motivation regardless.
Yes.
You know?
So that was, like I said, that was very, you know,
instilled in you.
At a very young age. Mm-hmm. Then, you know, we grow up and we go through our stages as teenagers, young adults, rebel, you know, trying to get the party out.
Yeah.
And I got married at a very young age. Like I've mentioned you guys before, I got married at 20 and had my son at 21. But, you know, through that process, I had many jobs. You know, before I left high school, I had a newspaper job here in San Diego. And I used to sell ads for newspaper. From there, I worked at a bank teller. I've done waitress at a sushi bar.
Wow.
What else? And then I started doing my own thing, you know, selling coffee from home, having my own boutique at home, you know, and
so
then
that entrepreneurship has always been kind of in you, you know, like being out there and hustling and working.
Yes, that's what, you know, me do more, and there's something in you that wants to do more. So you try to do as much as you can to accomplish that. But of course, life happens.
Yeah. Kids.
And things get in the way, and you start dreaming sometimes at a certain point in your life.
You start putting things on hold.
Exactly. And then, but nevertheless, I still was able to do certain jobs and certain businesses on my own. For example, I had a trucking company in New Mexico, and I used to run the trucking side of it on the logistics part. So I would sign it up, and I would, you know, find the drivers, make sure everything was running great with the truck, and just little things like that, right? So that was another job.
And how old were you at that time?
It was 2014 when I started that business.
Okay, and you were already a mom.
I was already a mom.
How many kids did you have?
I had two.
Two already.
I had two. My dad. You know,
helped you?
He was like, hey, here's the truck and learn the business and just give me a portion and leave me alone.
Wow.
And I went and I found out how to create that business from zero. I did my research, a lot of sleepless nights.
You figured it out on your own.
I figured it out. It was a man industry, oil fill. So we were in the oil fill.
I was just going to say, like trucking and all of that, it's like, you know, the fact that you had the pants to wear them and like show up and break that, you know, cycle as like, oh, men. It's like, oh, I'm a woman and I can do it too.
Yes.
You know?
And it was very intimidating, let me tell you, because in the oil field, I don't know if you guys, you know, but this part of New Mexico area and West Texas is an oil field driven. So there's a lot of businesses out there. So it's all men, you know. Now you're starting to see more women in there. But
at the time, it was just mainly men.
It was just mainly men. So, but, you know, I was able to figure out the business. I ran that business all the way to 2019. And then it ended. There was a an accident and I had the choice to either continue or just let it go. And I think my heart was just ready to let it go. And then that's how I got into real estate. My mother was in real estate for many years before the recession. And I would always see her going to buy new houses and model homes. So I love that part of the real estate.
She brought you along.
She brought me along. Yeah, she would take us to go look at homes and work with us as well. So I started seeing like the real estate side of it. So deep inside, I always wanted to be a real estate. Actually, when I had Ethan, I signed up for a real estate class in Texas.
Oh, wow.
He was just barely 2 weeks.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
You had just given birth.
I had just given birth. And so I went to like 2 classes and it was like a 2-hour drive. But my baby was still small and my heart was just not in it at that moment. So I knew there was something there, but it wasn't.
It was just not calling you. Like
exactly.
That.
So once I moved back to California, my mom was like, why don't you just take your test? I'm like, yeah, screw it. I took the test in 2016, sent it in, and I never took the state exam. So I did all my classes in 2016 and never did the state exam. I never pursued it. And finally, when the trucking business was done, you're left to like, what now?
Yeah.
What now?
And at that moment, I'm sure for you, it was like, damn.
Well, I prayed about it. And I can remember this day like it was yesterday. I was in church and, I had just lost the truck and I was like, man, God, I was like, what do I do? I was like sitting there while they were worshiping. I was like, what do I do? And clearly I heard, take the test. And I knew right away it was for real estate. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Good try though.
Why were you so afraid of taking the test?
It was just in that moment, my heart was not, it was not something that I was thinking about. My heart was not in it. And it was just like, it was just, when you want to do something, but you're like, eh.
Yeah.
And that's where I was at.
Okay. It wasn't because you were afraid of,
no.
It was just kind of like not at the moment, not the right time for you.
It was not the right time for me. And literally that week, I went to go have a girls' night and we went to go watch a movie. And one of our friends is a real estate agent. After the movie, I don't know how I came up and she's like, hey, you guys should try being real estate agents. And I'm like,
you're like, oh my God, why is this coming up so much?
What? And she's like, yeah, we need more Spanish-speaking agents. Wow. And I'm like, yeah, no.
You're like, that's not me.
No. She woke up. She woke up that little seat again. And I went to the house, looked for classes to take because I had to refresh what I learned.
Yeah.
And that class was literally 10 minutes away from my house.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is too much. And remember, like I said, I'm a big believer that when things happen consecutively, it's because it's meant to be and it's for you. So the class was there. They usually have it twice a year in that location. And that following week was the class.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, come Tuesday, the following week, I was like, maybe I'll take it. And I called my significant other. I was like, what do you think? Should I do it? He's like, just do it. He's always been very supportive, whether it works or not, he's been very supportive on whatever I wanted to do. Even though it sounded crazy in his head, like, just do it. So I appreciate that from him. Yeah. So from there, I tried to take the class, and it was all booked. It was done. And they were not having that class again until next year, and I would have to drive all the way to San Diego or LA.
Wow.
And I was like, damn. So the lady was like, just call the school and see if they
have like an opening at least or something.
Tell me why I called. This is Tuesday. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Monday. The class was on Wednesday. This is Monday. And I called. I was like, hey, is there any chance to get in it? It's right by my house. And she's like, wow, what a coincidence. Somebody just dropped out 10 minutes ago.
Wow. That's crazy. Like 10 minutes ago.
And
it wasn't even like a day or anything.
I'll take it. And then I called Dave. I was like, babe, I need this much money. And he's like, let me check the account. And then he checked the account. I was like, okay, go for it. And I was like, so I paid. The lady was like, you're not going to get your book because they won't get to you on time, so you'll have it in the class. And I took the crash course on Wednesday. I took my test on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. Friday or Monday. But literally like within days. And I passed the test the first time.
Wow. It all aligned just perfectly.
And let me tell you,
it was all just meant to be.
Meant to be. And let me tell you, I am the worst book person, test taker ever. So in my mind,
you're like already failing.
I was
You're like, I'm
3
done.
tests.
You're like, I'm just going to take it, hope for the best,
yes.
expect the worst.
But, and then people were like, oh, it's hard, and make sure you take it the first time and pass it because the next ones get harder. And I'm like, oh, no.
So it was a lot of pressure.
I took the test, and it was literally what I had learned with my mom.
Wow.
The rental part, like the, certain
just kind of
lingo
like you were
for real estate.
Prepared for that.
Like, and I knew it. Because of my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
And I think it's like subconsciously ingrained in you. And it's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That
and I
so crazy.
passed it. And one of my high school friends was actually building a real estate team. So I shopped around brokers. And I ended up, being the second one in his team. He taught me a lot, which I'm so grateful for because... Man, like the stuff that you have to learn in real estate, it's not just taking a test and going to sell houses. There's so much that goes behind it. The contracts, how you're going to protect your buyers, how you're going to protect the sellers, making sure they don't lose money. Because there's a lot of shady stuff going out there. So just making sure you know exactly how to protect your buyer or seller. Mm-hmm. And so he taught me all that. And then,
So you kind of had to find like a company that aligned with your core values,
exactly.
with who their beliefs and everything.
Yes. So I am very grateful to that friend, for holding my hand throughout that process. Mm-hmm. And now I'm in a different team because in some points in life you have to let go of how you started and with who you started to keep growing. And I think that's in any business, whether it's real estate, whatever you do. There's going to be a time that those people are in place in that moment for a reason. But depending on how serious this business is, you have to level up. Absolutely. So you're going to have to be like, thank you so much for everything you've done, but I need to keep growing. And then you're going to have to move on. And now I am part of, the Renew team here in San Diego, which, the team leader became one of my best friends, a great mentor that I look up to. He's my mentor for like family, business, financially. Everything. He's like the big brother, like, like that puts you back into your place. And then his wife, I mean, she's such a sweetheart. She's there to motivate me. She's my autism mommy. Oh, we call each other our autism mommy.
You've talked about someone having, being a friend, but I never knew it was.
Yes. And then just knowing that, she's there for me and she understands me in that level because she's an autism mom. Connection. It's a different connection. Absolutely. And then me knowing like what she's going through because her baby's younger. Mm-hmm. He's only 2 or 3. Okay. So knowing what I went through and me telling her so she's at least knowing what to expect or like while she's going through it, somebody that understands her.
That's been there before.
Yeah. And then the fact that, like I'm saying, the fact that I aligned with that team and I aligned with the people that I am with right now in my circle, it was meant to be. Mm-hmm. And now I love what I do. I love being a real estate agent. I love helping people. And I like it even more when I am helping the Hispanic community obtain their first home, the first generation home buyers, or selling their home and taking that equity and putting it into a bigger house, something that they never thought they could get. Like that is the rewarding part. Yes.
I love that. I love that, especially because you're Hispanic. You grew up seeing people around you struggle, trying to, live the American dream.
Yes.
The American dream for every person, I feel like it's being homeowners.
Yes.
And sometimes being Hispanic, it makes it a little, coming to a country that isn't ours, makes it 10 times harder, our generations make it hard to be like, we'll never be homeowners, So yeah. It really, and
it's also the lack of like the education on behind it, like
absolutely,
because as Hispanics, like es que cuesta mucho, can we even do it? Es que no,
like no gano lo suficiente,
and you don't we don't know
sabes.
That. No sabemos.
It's just the lack of information, and especially because we're a lot of Spanish speakers. Our parents are, we would have to translate to them, but obviously for them it's intimidating. It's like, they see, commercials, information that not a lot of, because a lot of realtors target mainly like, oh, we're giving out keys, this, that, and not so much focused on information to make you aware that there's different possibilities for you.
And I'm so guilty of that. I am so guilty of not putting the knowledge that I know out there. And that's actually one of my goals this year is to put more knowledge out there and actually put it in Spanish.
Absolutely.
Because if we could teach our people how to be a first-time homeowner in the country that they saw them,
Absolutely.
building something here with their family, that is so rewarding.
Exactly.
So that's definitely, one of my goals this year is putting
you should definitely
information out there in Spanish.
And then just things that, maybe right now they might not qualify, but things to
we could help him
with them.
And that's another thing that I'm actually taking a course here in a couple of weeks for credit, to repair your credit, to teach you how to, if you have negative stuff in your credit, how we could start tackling that and get you ready maybe in 6 months to a year to buy your new home.
Make a plan.
Exactly. I think if you connect with the right person and make a plan and it's walking you through the whole way,
exactly,
you're going to become or you're going to obtain that house
Absolutely.
that you want. So that's my next goal, is to get open my credit repair company to help, our Hispanic community on how to give them the knowledge on credit, because credit is so important.
Oh, it's so important.
And a lot of our people, work self-employed jobs or work cash, and sometimes that affects you, and that's why we can buy a home.
Exactly.
Because the bank cannot approve you for a loan if it's just cash. It has to be paper trail.
Right.
And that's what stops us from buying a house, from buying a car with low interest.
It's little things that we don't know, and or we don't have the tools, or we can't even process to think like, oh, well, let me search up this.
Exactly.
It's just little things that should be put up like that, and I think that's huge.
And if we could get more knowledge on credit, on how credit could benefit you in many ways. Business, if you want to do a business and you have good credit, they're going to fund you for your business, right? Or you could at least try to link it up to your personal, and then when you start building that business credit, then you start applying for business credit. So many ways
to grow.
So many ways.
Just by having a good credit.
Exactly.
Along with that comes big opportunities.
Yes.
Big opportunities. And a lot of times we're so close-minded thinking like, well, I have bad credit. Like, I'm pretty much, my options are done. No, there's a credit repair company that can help you. And then once you achieve that credit score,
then we teach you how to obtain
leverage
credit cards and leverage it. How to, if you're going to go to the grocery store and you have a credit card that's giving you points, use that credit card, get the points, pay it off, but you're accumulating points, and those points pay for plane trips, pay for something else. For example, I have a Southwest credit card, and I use that for my fuel, for my groceries, and I pay it off. I just told you this, right? I have I don't know how many, 80 to 90,000 points. Mm-hmm. I could literally plan a round trip for me and you and probably 2 other more, and not pay for tickets.
Yep. That's
so
crazy.
It's a free trip for spending money that they give me.
Yeah, exactly.
But people don't know that because we are not being taught or educated the right way. So that's definitely another of my goals, is to create this business, get our people on the right track with credit, obtaining whatever they want, whether they want a house, create a business, buy a car. Credit plays a part in buying a car. Absolutely. You have bad credit, you have the high interest rate. You end up paying more for the interest rate than on the vehicle monthly if you have bad credit.
Even I believe even now for not just, but now it's to rent here in San Diego.
Oh, it's
they
go for your credit.
They ask you damn, if you were literally gonna buy a house.
Yes.
Your credit score, your bank statements.
You have to have 3 times the amount of rent.
It's getting insane.
For here in California, that's a lot. I mean, minimum for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, depending on the location. I know where I live, 1-bedroom, 1-bath, minimum $1,800.
Yep.
Minimum.
Yep.
So this plays a big part, and I really hope that, once I get this rolling, I could help you guys, and feel free to reach out, whether it's about real estate, credit, or anything. We're here to help you, and I'm here to teach you what I know. Mm-hmm. And then if I don't know it, I will find out for you.
Yeah.
But don't stay quiet, because staying quiet is not making us grow.
You. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure she'll leave, we'll leave our Instagrams down below where, sometimes we don't get to see all of the comments, all of that, but you can, access her Instagram, message her directly. She'll give you her contact info. You can get a hold of her and just, be aware of a lot of the things. But, I'm just so proud of you, Betsy. You're killing it. She's a busy mama, killing it in the real estate. She's doing amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. But enough about me, guys. Let's talk about Anita.
Híjole.
Please tell us how you became an influencer.
Ooh, so it's crazy.
Your story is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I feel like you were the seed planted in the family that saw a vision on what, being an influencer could really do for your family.
Yeah.
In the positive way.
In a positive way. Yeah. So, for as long as I can remember, I've, shared that I'm really into the beauty industry. I've always loved makeup, all of that. And I first started with nails. That's what made me create a YouTube account. Which is funny. I actually have like a YouTube account where I would, put like little slideshows of my nails.
Girls, go look for that YouTube account.
I think I deleted it.
Oh, you did?
I think I did. I have one about my makeup, which I'm like, I'm going to delete it because it's kind of embarrassing.
Everybody's going to go look for it right now.
They're going to be like, Anita.
Makeup? Makeup Anita?
So, it's always been in me. Once I found out about YouTube, I was really intrigued by it. And I remember I would watch makeup tutorials. And I think at the time when YouTube first launched, it was like everybody was searching up, how to do your makeup, how to be a makeup artist, So I was really into it. And that's how I became... I got introduced to like the beauty influencers, some of the OGs like I Love Sarai, Jaclyn Hill, like all of those OGs, Nikki tutorials. I was watching them, and I loved it. Once YouTube transitioned to not just little makeup tutorials, it transitioned to vlogging, to people actually putting their lives out there, sharing content. I was watching them 24/7. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool, And I always envisioned myself like, I would love to do that. I want to know how it feels like to share my story, to share this. So, I started, it's funny because when I was in high school, I bought a camera, a little Sony camera, and I was recording everything, and I didn't know what vlogging was like at the time, like that. Jose and I still have those clips of us like going to the park. We would record us like, we're going to the park today, and we would take my niece, his little sister, and we would record them running, doing all of that. But we just kept it as memories. We never uploaded it, and at the time it was like people weren't really doing that, So that's how everything started. Then I kind of stopped, and I was just watching things, but I never really took the initiative to get back into it up until COVID hit.
Oh wow!
COVID
recently.
Wow. So we relaunched. Jose and I opened up the Jam Fam account, and we uploaded like 2, 3, 4 videos in a year. And I remember what really switched the game for us was when the Ace family had they had like a big event at the Staples Center. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, I know. My son watches them.
Okay, yeah. So they're like the OGs of like a family vlog. So we went there, and I knew about them because Mila was watching them. She was like into it, and I was like, okay, cool,
Wait, the Ace family is the one with the guy that boxed recently, right? Okay. So Ileana and Emma watch them. Ethan watches the Royalty family.
Oh, the Royalty family. They're Mila's obsessed with them too.
Ethan is obsessed with them, and he pretends to be playing games with the son.
With what's his name? I know who you're talking about. Mila was just watching him yesterday. Dijon? No, that's the baby.
And my son's autistic, guys. So for him to like be like, he's like, I'm the #1 fan of Royal Family.
I love
the Royal Family.
Oh,
and then we go, I think they have like a Jeep. It was like, Mom, we need to go buy a Jeep like the Royal Family. I was like,
That's
boy,
cute.
I got too many of you for a Jeep.
No. So, at the time, that's how I knew about the Ace family. We got really intrigued in it. And I was just watching episodes with Mila all the time. Yeah. So, we ended up going to their basketball game, and because it was at the Staples
Center, okay.
And it was huge, like over 30,000 people. Oh my God, they sold out, like it was big. So that was the first time we went, we vlogged. We actually have that vlog on our YouTube channel if you guys want to watch it. But that day, dude, it was crazy because we took our vlogging camera, we went inside, and we were recording, and oh my God, like just seeing how everybody was just like, showing them love and everything. It was just different, right? And then we end up leaving, and we were recording. Dude, people were coming up to us. They were like, oh my God, you guys have a YouTube channel? We're like, yeah. They're like, oh my God, what is it? People started subscribing to us, right? And people were asking me to like sign their shirts.
What?
And I was like, dude, they don't even watch us. But, you know, and it's funny because I met this girl named Perla at the Ace family event, and she's still a big follower. Like, she still follows us.
Hi, Perla.
Yes, Perla, thank you so much for believing in us since that day. And I still keep in touch with her. We're always going back and forth. But I remember that day, you know, she like asked me, she was with her friend. She was like, oh my God. And like I said, go back to that video if you guys want. We have it on there. You'll see us actually signing people's shirts. And that planted a seed for both of us where we were like, damn, this could literally be us. So we left the Ace family event feeling so motivated. We felt like we could do it. And that's when it all really started. You know, we started vlogging a little bit more. I started doing like little pranks on Jose. But at the time I had a Sony camera, but it overheated after like 10, 15 minutes of recording. It would shut off. So I remember I told Jose, I was like, hey, like, you know, I really want to get into vlogging more. Like, I want to do pranks on you. I want to grow our YouTube channel. And he was like, okay, yeah, like, let's do it, you know? So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to sell this camera because I can't, you know, pranks usually have to leave the camera hidden and recording for a while. So
Sorry, 15 minutes.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't be recording.
Do it again.
Replay.
I'm gonna prank you again.
Pretend you didn't see the camera. So, you know, I ended up putting it on OfferUp. I sold it. And then I ended up buying, you know, I searched up, like, what's the best vlogging camera?
So wait, you sold the overheated camera?
Sorry,
guys.
Well, somebody used it for, like, they know.
Okay.
He knew. It was a guy who, he said he used it to, like, he was like a gamer or something like that. So he already knew. So I sold it to him. I used that money, you know, to invest in like a vlogging camera that wouldn't overheat, which was the Canon G7X, which we still have. And after I got that camera, I was like, okay, it's on. And that's, if you guys, like I said, go back to our YouTube channel, all the little pranks that you're seeing, and that you'll see the date. That's when COVID hit. So we were at home and I was just pranking Jose, like doing all these vlogs. And then I came up with, you know, obviously I started getting more into YouTube.
Yeah.
That's when I found out about Us Always. I found out about Alondra and Benny.
Aguilars.
All the Aguilars, like all these influencers, right? And all these big YouTubers. So I started really like following them, the Murillo twins, everyone. Like I started really keeping up with them. And you know, at that time, Jose's job, you know, he was in the real estate industry. And I think everybody's job took a big hit when COVID first landed. So, you know, we were kind of stressing because we're like, oh my God, you know, you lost your job. I had, you know, I got pregnant. So then I had, you know, I couldn't work. And it was just a really stressful time for us. And I remember I told Jose one day, I was like, hey, I'm like, you're really good at doing content, like doing all these you know, videos. I'm like, you know what we're missing in the influencer world? I was like, we need someone that can do this type of content, like, because he was doing some sick editing, like,
I remember
transitions and all of that.
I believe that he because this is when I met Jose was through my real estate, because he is amazing.
Jose's amazing.
Like the videos, the content that he puts out there, like, tiene coco for that. And he has the eye for it.
Right.
And I believe that's when I was like, hey, you know, we got closer.
Yeah.
And I remember that he would tell me every time something would happen, like, guess who reached out? Yoatzi or this. And so I was like, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And
at the time, Benny was like really popping. So, you know, I had seen that Benny had reposted one of his fans had, like, she drew Benny and Alo, I believe, at the time with, like, makeup. And he reposted. He was like, oh, this is so sick. And my mind clicked and I was like, oh my God, babe. I'm like, do a sick edit for Benny. I'm like, he just dropped this new song. Do a sick edit for him. And I'm like, and tag him. And we'll, I'll go in there and like tag Benny. I'm like, so you can catch his attention and see, and hopefully he's willing to work with you.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. He's like, okay, I'll do that. So he ended up doing, and he has it on his Instagram. If you guys go check his first picture that he did of Benny, like it was so sick. So he ended up posting it. Benny saw it. Benny was like, wow, this is so cool. He reposted him. And from there, he started doing things for Benny. Like he started doing some work for Benny. Benny got in contact with him. He's like, hey, bro, your work is amazing. Like, what else can you do? And then we also had another friend who she's more into like banda and all of that, and she knew Nathanael Cano, Ovi, and Jimmy Humilde from Humilde Records. So she ended up saying, you know what, I'm gonna introduce you to Obi and Jimmy because I think your work is amazing. So he ended up working with Nata and Ovi as well. He was going up to their house. Like, he was doing all these sick animations for him. So he was just starting to disrupt everything because at that time, that's when Nata and Ovi were like, boom, Pacas Verdes came out and everybody was listening to him. So that Jose got a lot of attention from that. And then it's like with Benny too. Benny was reposting him. He was doing all these animations for Nata and Ovi. And then Maria's best friends with Benny. So Maria from Us Always ends up reaching out to him. Hey, you know what? We're having some merch drop. Can you work some, do some animations for our end of our videos? And it just started escalating. And I remember Jose was like, watch, Mila, because Mila and I would watch Us Always all the time. And he was like, watch, one day we're going to be playing at their house. You're going to be playing with Serenity.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't think so. But, I didn't tell him. I'm like, that's kind of, that'll never happen. So when Maria reached out and she was like, hey, Jose, I saw you on Benny's stories. Like, I think you do an amazing job. Like, how much do you charge to do animations for us? So, Jose got in touch with her. She started following him, and then she started following me, and I was like, wow, like, that's so nice of her, because
girl, that's when you made it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. And I remember the first message I sent her, I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for following me. Like, I love your videos. Like, you're a boss, babe. Like, I was just telling her. She's like, of course, babe.
Oh, and she's a boss, babe.
Oh, I'm gonna have to bring her here, you guys.
Yes, Maria,
I really want her to share her story.
I just met her at Mila's, and she
birthday.
Is the sweetest
Humble
person, and you could feel it as soon as you meet her. You're like,
she's a real true friend. She supports you 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, like, that's how it started. She was the only influencer that had followed me, and I was like, oh my god, like, I was freaking out. I was having like a fan moment. And so, after that, Jose, when he was messaging back and forth with Maria, because, they were working, like, doing animations for her, he was like, hey, my daughter, my wife love you. They love your videos. He was like, Mila really loves Serenity. I hope that one day, we can get together and she can meet him. And she was like, yeah, of course. Like, maybe you guys should come up here to our house. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there is no way we got invited to their house. She said, once COVID, settles in, like, it goes away or something like that, like, we can, meet up. And I was like, there is no way that, like, we're dreaming. And so at that time, we couldn't believe it, and then Yoatzi was reaching out. Louis started reaching out. He started working with all these big influencers because, the influencer world is very small. Like, the top, once you start working with someone, and if you see the work and you like it, everybody just hires that person. You're the go-to and stuff. So that's what really happened. And then I remember the first time, it was Jose's birthday. This is what really changed our lives. So it was Jose's birthday, which was in August. So this happened in March, right? Where he started working with Benny. Mm-hmm. March, April, May, June, July, August. So 5 months later, after us having that relationship with them and working with them, Jose says, hey, it's my 29th birthday. I'm going to rent it was a loft in downtown. He's like, and I'm going to host my birthday party there. He's like, and I'm inviting everyone. I was like, they're not going to come. Like, what makes you think they're going to come, you know? Like, it was just hard to believe.
It's crazy because you were the one with the idea. You were the one with the dream. Yeah. But then when you're living the dream, you shifted your mind. You're like, that's not going to happen. And Jose was like, nah, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
So it's crazy how, it's beautiful how the balance,
yep,
you know, like, was there.
It was both of us. Yeah. So I was like, no, they're not going to come. And he sends out the invitation to everyone. And they're like, yeah, we'll be there. And I was like, oh my God. And everybody shows up.
Aww.
Everybody showed up. That was my first time meeting Benny, Alo, Maria, Christian, like everybody. That was the first time I met every single one of them. And I was like, wow, everybody's so cool. Everybody's super humble. And, you know, then after that, Alondra started following me. Benny started following me. Everybody just started following me. And I was like, oh my God. So after Jose's birthday party, Maria ends up, you know, releasing her video. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the video, she goes, oh my God, you know, she actually vlogged when we were at Jose's birthday party. And at the end of the video, she says, you know, go follow them, the Jam Fam. You know, they're super humble. I met Jose's wife. She's so sweet. Dude, the minute she posted that video, we were at 300. That night when she posted that video, oh my God, our numbers were going.
I remember.
And my anxiety was through the roof. I was at 636 followers on my Instagram account. And I went from that night to the next morning, I was at like 3K. And I was like, whoa, like I was tripping out. People were just like leaving comments. And our YouTube like really grew overnight, dude. And along with that came a lot of anxiety and, you know, because people then started giving opinions and I wasn't used to that. I was just used to, I was not ready. Like, I feel like it happened overnight. And, you know, when we first started our YouTube channel, it was mainly family and close friends that would leave nice comments, uplifting comments. So when that video dropped and, you know, we were partying, having fun for Jose's birthday, you know, along with that. And then it was COVID. So people were just dragging, like leaving comments, this, that. And then obviously we also had positive comments, but here and there was like something. And I was just like, oh my God,
it's too much.
It. Like, yeah. And I remember Maria called me the next day. She's like, hey, babe, how are you feeling? Like, how's everything? And I remember I was telling her, I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm not used to this. Like, I've always wanted to be an influencer. But when it happened and I saw that everything that came along with, it was just like a whole completely different world that you're living in.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we think this is the goal. I wish I could do that. That looks so easy. Pfft, that's easy. Just vlog yourself all day, post it on YouTube, get paid. You live fucking good. You have a luxurious house, nice cars. No, dude. It's a lot comes with that.
It's crazy because I remember, you know, because back then, me and Jose would talk a lot, you know, and he was telling me, like, through the whole process of this going on, like, he was telling me, like, dude, I was like, dude, just, you know, this is a blessing, take it all in. And we would, because it's crazy because I feel like I could connect with him a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, it was just crazy. It was a good time, you know? But I remember, like, he would tell me, like, when stuff would pop up and I was like, oh my gosh, who is that?
Because you weren't in the
I'm not in the and then he would tell me, he would push me like, you should do your YouTube. And I tried it, but it's hard. When you think it's easy just recording, no, it's not. It's way more than recording. It's learning how to edit, it's learning what content you're gonna put out there, because I think at this time also you gotta be careful on what you're putting out there. So it comes with a lot of components, and it's not just recording and uploading the video.
It's a whole job.
You have to make it entertaining for, you know, the people watching.
Absolutely.
So it's not easy. I know I still can't do it, and I don't think I probably do it because it's a lot of work. A lot of work.
And like I said, along with that comes people's opinions. You're putting your life out there, right? And people's opinions, people's, you know, they want to tell you how to live your story, your life. They want to, you know, they feel like they know you because of 15, 20 minutes that you put out of your life. It's like, oh, we know your life. We know who you are. We know, you know, and people just, it's a very hard industry to be in. And sometimes, you know, I have to mentally check out of it. Like I always tell you, because, you know, being in the public eye and then having a relationship go through all this, you have drama channels, you have people wanting to make money out of you, so they twist things around, and it's a sad world, right? And Betsy always tells me, like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know. And I'm like, I always tell her, even my niece, I always say, I feel like I'm living two worlds. The minute I'm on YouTube, the minute I'm on social media, I'm this whole completely different person.
Yeah.
When I check out, I feel like a completely normal person because I'm not expected. I'm not being judged. I'm just at home. And
You're
I'm
Anita.
Like, I'm Anita. Like, I'm a simple girl. I don't wear fucking makeup. I'm just at home, like, with my family, with my kids.
We sit on the couch.
Yeah, literally. So
and watch Cocomelon.
Exactly. And so the minute I go on Instagram, sometimes my anxiety goes up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what comment am I going to get today?
And I've seen you where, you're like, because I've told her,
I've called you.
Yeah, she gets really bad anxiety because it's definitely a cruel world.
Exactly.
It comes with a lot of rewarding parts, but it's a cruel world. And the fact that she could, all these influencers, not just you, but all these influencers have to contain themselves for really going out there. Because and I've told you many times.
She's like, I would.
If I wouldn't be able to be an influencer because if they would say a comment, I'll be like, bitch, what do you mean?
You go off on them.
I'll probably go off on them. But that's me. And that's not my industry. So I feel like at this moment, like I could do that. But for you and Alondra and, Benny and us always, like the fact that they have to contain themselves, this is their job. This is how they provide for the family. They're doing and putting themselves out there for you to have somebody to watch and connect to, entertain. But then you guys are attacking and attacking and attacking. How you do it, how you guys do it, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Because I probably would have been like,
I'm done.
I'm not going to do the right finger. But, it's a lot. It's a lot. Really, and it's mentally, you guys have to be hella strong.
Yeah.
Hella strong. Yeah. Because ahorita si alguien me dice algo a mí, le rayo toda la madre. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you have to learn control.
To pick who you waste your energy on. Mm-hmm. Is it even worth the wasting your energy? And I feel like when you first start, it does get to you, right? And you put out that energy back. You're like, da, da, da. But then it's like, no matter what you do, you end up not ever pleasing anyone. And that's something that I've learned, throughout now, 2 years that we've been on YouTube, and just really trying to figure out people and trying to please them and trying to explain things. And you learn to just ignore it.
Before, when we were talking, but before you and I got really close, I would follow Yoatzi because that's, when you guys started working with her. Mm-hmm. And I would see some of her videos. I don't see a lot of YouTube videos from influencers, mm-hmm. but one of hers, I think I see more of her and Louie.
Okay.
Because I could relate to her on like the mental. Like mm-hmm. she is the only one that I've seen so far. And maybe I'm missing other ones because I don't look at them. Mm-hmm. I don't watch them. But that she talks about like, I have to check out. Like, I'm going to be off social media.
Yes.
I need to go regroup myself.
Yes.
She was going through some stuff with her relationship. And like, she's like, I need to get off. Because it was a lot to her. And that's when I noticed and I was able to understand you when you were like, dude, it's a lot. Because I had seen her already. Mm. And then you have Louie on the other side, que le vale madre. And I'm like, I'm that one. I'm Louie.
Yes.
But that's when I was able to like, oh, okay, I get you. Because I had already seen her.
Yeah.
What she was going through. And it's
a lot.
It's a lot.
You already have your personal problems.
Yeah.
But being in front of the camera, trying to explain people and then they still attack you. And I have to just mentally check out sometimes too. I don't say it to my Instagram, but I just sometimes don't even go. Right now, my DMs are, like crazy, but I just can't sometimes. Like, I just need time for myself to regroup myself, to just be mentally okay by myself.
And it's crazy because you love it so much.
And I love it.
And you love it so much. And then that part of it is just like, I still love you, but gosh, how...
Yeah, it's hard because... I want to share my journey with you guys. Yeah. And this is the reason why, I was open about our relationship and what we were going through because, we could have easily, we don't owe anybody anything. We could have easily just quit and not said anything, but we both love, documenting and sharing our journey and, hopefully teach someone out there, and it just sucks because, we love doing this, but along with that comes with so much stuff, and it's hard being with the influencer, you know, and so many expectations of you. Like I've talked in our previous podcast, like, you know, our previous episode, you know, becoming an influencer, you're expected, society makes you think that, you know, because you're an influencer, you need to have this. You're expected to look a certain way. You're expected to act a certain way. You know, all of these expectations that get put on you, it's definitely hard. Very, very hard. And it's not an easy job. And I'm talking about me not even having half of what, you know,
other
friends,
influencers
have 2 million, 3 million.
I know.
Imagine that. It's like triple, quadruple the pressure for them. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's definitely, you know, you talking about it makes us see like influencers in a different set of eyes, you know, and they're human. They're not, you know, only because you see them behind the camera, you know, having all this wonderful stuff, dude, they're working very hard at it. Absolutely. You know, recording, I don't know how you guys do it, carrying the damn camera everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I did that for my vacation with my family. They're like, oh, here comes Betsy with her camera. I'll be like, stop it. You guys are going to love the video.
Yeah. And
but it was a video for us, right?
Yeah.
But you guys recording for, like, everything, every single, because, and another thing, you know, you have these influencers sharing their life, but Jose told me something really that stuck with me. You're leaving a legacy, right? Because when you're gone, Mila's going to go back in there and be like, look how cool my dad was. Look how cool my mom was. Look at all this stuff my mom used to do.
And that's
the mentality that I think helps you guys, is because it's like, I'm leaving this so when I'm gone, my kids could watch me.
Watch that.
And that's the reason I wanted to start it.
Memories.
But it's just a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's hard to juggle YouTube, a regular job. You know, for example, for me, you know, YouTube isn't just my only source of income. Yeah. It's, you know, I have another business. I'm doing my eyebrows.
You're doing this.
I'm doing this. I'm launching my merch next week. So
yeah, you guys are going to love it.
You guys will love it. And there's going to be a whole YouTube video about that, behind the story of, you know, what
and the episode
and an episode as well. The YouTube part is going to be more of like a personal thing. Here is going to be more of like our roots and stuff.
Our roots, talking about
it. So, you know, it comes with a lot of stuff. Like, it's not just YouTube. We also have other life. You know, we have other jobs, not just YouTube, but YouTube is time consuming. It's a lot of work, especially once you have sponsorships, you have a management team. Oh, the work is 10 times
They're requiring
added.
Stuff from you.
They require you to submit certain things at a certain time. You know, specific, like if something isn't said right in the video, you have to redo it, add this, add that. So, you know, coming back and forth, editing this back, it's time consuming.
It's a job.
It's a job.
And I think that's what people don't understand. That
no,
you're like,
they think
it's not a job. They're just recording. No, but there's people behind that person recording that they have to meet deadlines, to meet certain criteria.
Exactly.
So for you guys, it's just watching a video, but for them, it's actually an actual job.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And so that's what I said. Sometimes I take breaks. I'm like...
But I think it's beautiful. I think, like I said, it's memories that you're recording forever. They're going to stay forever. Yeah. Your kids are going to watch you. Their kids are going to watch you. Mm-hmm. Because this is just... It keeps growing. Even though YouTube is so huge, it's still going to grow. It's still going to go to the next phase and next phase, just like it's been doing from the beginking.
Yeah.
So you guys are already in there, and you love it. And I think, you know... Like I said, I don't know how you guys do it, but you guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you for sharing. I know that, you know, sometimes it's very hard, but I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
I think what your family did was amazing, and what other YouTubers are doing is amazing. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's another way of, you know, putting entertainment out there. It's not in the big screen, but it's on your phone.
It is.
So you're able to reach way more people.
Exactly.
So, you know, just, you know, for the people out there that, you know, are judging and seeing it in a different set of eyes, that these are real people putting their life out there, and then just wanting to entertain you.
And we're just trying to show, you know, real, raw. We want to build connections. We want to make you see that you're not the only one going through things, you know? It's we're normal people just as you guys. You know, the only difference is we're documenting it, yet we get judged. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just doesn't make sense. I'm like...
And I think people feel like because you're putting it out there, you're... What is... I think I read a comment. You put yourself in this situation.
Yeah.
You put your stuff out there, expect to be judged. Excuse me?
Yeah.
You see, this is the reason I'm not on it. I'd be like,
you're like, I'm deleting a whole paragraph. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Let me pause you real quick. But you see, it's,
That's what I'm saying. When you put your life out there, people have expectations of you. Oh, you owe us this. Thanks to us, you're this. No. Which, in a sense, we are thankful for every person that supports us, but you're not forced to.
Yeah.
Why? And this is the thing that I feel as humans, as our society, we're selfish. We're very selfish. We're very greedy. We give with expectations of receiving. And a lot of people are like, well, I give you the view, so I'm expected for you to give me an explanation. It's like, no, we're not. We share what we want to share, and you should be thankful for that. Mm-hmm. We want to build real, raw connections. We're humans, just like every single one of you out there. It's just, we're vlogging it. Yeah. We're putting it out there,
It's like any actor, actress, musician, it's another form of entertainment. Mm-hmm. And that's what you guys are. You guys are putting entertainment out there.
We are entertainers. Entertainers.
There you go.
Yeah. So, sometimes like I always say, a lot of girls, a lot of guys out there think it's cool. And it is, it's fun. You get to dress up, post pictures, all of that. But along with that comes, and I'm telling you guys because I was in a position where you guys are at. I was behind the screen watching my favorite YouTubers, my favorite influencers, wanting to meet them one day, wanting to become like them. And when you're on that side of the world, you're like, oh, snap. It's just the same thing as when you're a mom. You see a family, you see a baby.
Oh, I want the baby.
You're like, that is so cute. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's fun. But when you're on the other side, you get to see...
Sleeping only 2 hours, feeding the crying baby.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I didn't know all of this came with that. And then, you're just like, damn. You're left with all this work, So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But this is my story. This is how we started. This is how, we became influencers. And my goal is to be an influencer that is real and raw with you guys, that shares her struggles. It's not all just pretty and posing and getting ready and, having the house and having the car. No, I just want to show you guys that we're humans just like every single one of you. We have relationship issues, family issues, life issues, struggles, job issues, all of that, just like every single one of you. And that's my goal as an influencer, is to just really show you how it is.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Because my girls are watching.
Oh, it's funny. Somebody messaged me and they told me that they're like, this is the type of content that needs to be put out more because my girls are watching.
Yeah.
They look up to you. And the fact that you're showing them this, not just you and,
all the glamour.
All the glamour and this and that. And I'm like, wow, that means a lot,
I know. Well, definitely. So, what advice would you give to the people behind the camera that are wanting to become influencers? Because your story is amazing. You guys got where you are because of hard work. Mm-hmm. They noticed you put the seed in Jose. Jose did the work, and they noticed you guys, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
what advice would I give? I mean, if this is something that you really want to do it, go for it. Don't do it because of, how cool it looks or because of the money. No, because like I said, there's more to that. There comes a lot of stress and pressure, So if you want to be an influencer and you feel like this is the life, or you want to just try it, try it. And if it's something that didn't work, okay, But hard work, definitely hard work. Keep pushing, dedication, consistency. Definitely will get you out there. Just stay true to yourself. Most importantly, stay true to yourself, because you don't want to get lost in a world that just isn't you. Trying to be someone that's not you. So, yeah.
Yep. Well,
that's it.
I think that's it. Damn.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
Good.
I mean, at least you guys get to see, what we're about. We're not trying to pretend something we're not.
Right.
And we're telling you exactly the story the way it is. Mm-hmm. So there's no clips here and there,
Yeah.
watch the whole story. Because this is what it is.
Who we are. Yeah. How we became who we are. Mm-hmm. You know, what planted that seed to be where we're at.
I know.
And the struggles that come with that. Yeah. And the motivation that comes with that, you know? And
we hope we motivated you, though. That's the whole point. I hope this was a motivation.
Absolutely.
You know, for you.
No, and I think it is, you know, because they saw where we started, how it, you know, it added up. And I'm a big believer in if that's God's plan, he will take you there.
Amen.
Amen. And like even your story, you know, how everything aligned.
Yeah.
How everything just played out for you without you even thinking it. And, you know, it just played out. And I think that's with every situation, every career path, every life path. Yeah. Everything plays out the way it should.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because nothing makes sense at the moment. Things happen overnight. Things just happen out of nowhere and you're like, what? And it leads you to the right path.
And it's crazy because in that moment that you're going through at that moment, right? Whatever you're going through at that moment, you feel, you know, for me, like I'm talking about Betsy. When there's a shift in my life or something happened that it's not, you know, I feel like I'm back to where I was. I'm broken. I'm discouraged. It's like at that moment, you feel like there's no way out. You know, there's no way out. How can I overcome this? I can't see past this. Like, I can't see my future.
No light at the end of the tunnel.
No light at the end of the tunnel. But then when you start reflecting like we just did, you're like, oh my gosh, this whole thing happened for me to be here where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
And we can't see it in that moment. There's no way to see it because you're so caught up with all this
cloudiness in your head.
But then now that we're reflecting, you know, the way it happened for you and the way it happened for me,
you're like, wow,
there's a reason.
All these signs, all these little things
and we
added
can't
up.
Understand it because we're not supposed to. We just have to trust the process and have faith that wherever we're going is because we're supposed to be and we're meant to be there.
Absolutely. Great way to end the podcast. What's that supposed to mean?
Every time we do something, every time we like hit a spot, we're like,
no mic drop. We go,
no.
I am so dead, Betsy. I am so dead. Pew, 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 pew. So yeah, guys, this is us.
Yeah.
This was beautiful.
I loved it.
Guys,
yeah.
You know, sharing with you guys what a roller coaster we've been in a short period of time.
And we're just starting, baby.
We're
barely going up the roller
coaster. And we're documenting it.
Yes.
So I love the fact that we're capturing this moment as we're going through it. So imagine in a few years we look back, we're gonna be like, oh, we were talking about, look at, we were just doing a podcast and look where it led us to, or, you know, little things like that.
I'm so excited. And I'm just so excited that my daughters get to see this. So whenever they can't talk to me or see me or be with me, they're just going to put an episode of Ain't That Some Shit? Be like, oh, that's what my mom did. You know, like that's you know.
I love that.
For some reason, I always go back to my babies. Like, I want them
to know what mama did.
Yeah.
What mama, if they're ever in your shoes at a one point in their life.
And I'm not here.
What did my mom do?
Yeah.
No llores.
Okay.
No llores, cabrona. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about us. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagram. We're posting, you know, our daily live routines and more about us. So if you guys want to stay connected to us, you know, we'll leave our Instagram down below so you guys can follow us and let us know in the comments down below what you thought about this episode, what more you want to see. And don't forget to subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. I see you guys watching but not subscribing. Ooh. So it would mean a lot for us if you hit that subscribe button and help us grow. You know, we want to get to 50K, 100. So let's spread the word. Let's spread positivity. You know, let's connect and just help us women come to the top.
And men.
Yeah.
And men. Let's not forget men.
No, yeah. We're not sexist here.
Men, women.
Anything. Just, you know, we're just trying to inspire.
Yes, inspire, be positive, get your day going. You know, Let us be the one talking shit to you.
Good. Hey. Baila, tiling. Eso, tiling. Dale, tiling. Duro, tiling.
Oh, you know what song I'm stuck on right now?
What? Which one?
The one with Karol G.
Mommy.
Guys.
Ooh, I've been playing that song like 24/7. I'm like,
and I don't get tired of it.
And I know every single word now. I'm like,
too.
I love it.
I love it.
Mila loves it too now because I played
Emma
it.
knows the words.
Mila too. She's like, Mommy, put the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what song, baby? The one we always listen. Oh, okay, Karol G, Mommy. She's like, and we play it. She's like, again. And
you
I'm
know
like,
why though?
Okay.
Because it relates to women. How we feel, how we relate, right? Like, and you know, and I've seen it, I am witness, we don't say our story. We really, you know, women really don't open up when it comes to like our relationship stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And the quote that she says is, "Tú quedaste bien porque lo mío ni lo cuento." Mic drop. Pew, pew, pew. That's it. That's it. Like, we don't talk about it. And sometimes the person on the other end ends up looking like the great person because I didn't say my story.
Yeah.
You know? So I am like obsessed with that song.
I love that song too.
Yeah.
And like the rhythm, the wording, and Karol G's just every song she drops.
And then the fact that her friend has her back.
Ooh, I love
Becky G.
Becky G.
Is like, cuéntalo, mami.
Eso.
I think that's what she says. Cuéntalo or dímelo, mami.
Dímelo, mami.
Dímelo, mami.
I love it.
Yes.
So listen to that song if you guys haven't.
Yes, please do. Put it on repeat.
I'm sure everybody's heard it.
Yeah.
It's been out there.
Porque esa canción, I saw a post, esa canción mandó a la mierda a tu ex, a mi ex y a los ex que vienen. I was like, yes,
girl, play it on repeat. That song's gonna be on Billboard's #1.
It has to be. It has to be.
At least with my plays.
Right? I have like 10,000 plays already.
Just ours alone. It's like on repeat. And it's funny because I was driving down here this morning listening to it, and then you called me. I was like, Betsy, I'm in the middle of it.
I know, this was my part.
This was the best
And let
part.
me tell you, I give a concert in the car with that car. So if you see me driving and you see me in the rearview mirror, be like,
me too. I'm like,
rata de dos patas.
You grab the microphone.
Yeah, let's go.
You're like, you see the driver next to you. Rata de dos
it's funny because I was going to a showing with my client and he was in front of me and I was following him and I was just singing. I was like, shit. He could see me. I was like, damn.
He's like, damn, Betsy, you got a lot of anger.
Dude, girl, because I get the attitude with that song.
The little diva comes out.
Girl,
the
you
little
have no idea. Like, I already have a music video that I did in the car, a concert. Like, Karol G's right next to me and Becky G's in the back. Like, yes, girl.
Yes, girls, we got this. Oh, my God, I love it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on another episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Ain't that some? Bye, guys.